Oh, cool math games. Just seeing your retro logo makes me so bloody nostalgic. If you didn't sneakily play Run 3 on a different tab, whilst your teacher droned on about the nucleus being the powerhouse of the cell, were you even at school, bro? And I'm not the only one who gets a little bit teary-eyed when thinking about old CMT. The site had 677 million visits between June 2013 and June 2014, which translates to an astonishing 56.4 million visits per month. This user said, "Oh my gosh! I played Cool Math games with my little cousins whenever they came over. When I went off to college, I randomly remembered a specific game and it turned into my guilty pleasure. Cool Math Games has so many memories wrapped up in it. It's like a comfort blanket that you hug at the end of a long, lonely day. But something's changed." Obviously, I'm way too old to be of school age, but I get the feeling that Cool Maths Games isn't as well known by kids nowadays as it used to be. The numbers don't lie. The monthly visits are down to 14.29 million, which means the site has lost 42 million users from its 2010s heyday. But it's not just the numbers that are down, it's also the vibe. Try visiting Cool Math Games today on your computer when you're at home. You might find yourself asking, what happened here? Why doesn't Cool Math Games hit the same anymore? Did we just get old, or did the website actually go to hell? I guess we better dive into the reasons behind the depressing downfall of Cool Math Games. Let's go! Downfall reason 1. Teachers caught on. Interestingly, when Cool Math kicked off way back in 1997, it actually used to be a maths-led little network. The original site offered lessons and tools for things like algebra and pre-calculus. Over the years, the maths brand expanded into logic and problem-solving games. Which is why Cool Math Games used to be the ultimate school loophole. A site that looked studious enough, math was in the name after all, to dodge aggressive school firewalls. And in most schools, it wasn't actually blocked, giving students a much needed mental break. Why go and stand out in the prison courtyard, playground, when you could stay indoors and play Fireboy and Water Girl? As one person reminisced, it was the only site that was straight up allowed even during ISS and at alternative schools. And there were even teachers who used to play games during downtime. Yep, we all have stories of that one substitute teacher who didn't mind us quietly slinging pizzas in Papa's Pizzeria at the back of the lab. Smash that like button if you got good memories of Papa's Pizzeria. What a game. But times change. Schools got stricter with internet use, and about a year ago, many schools did in fact ban Cool Math Games, along with pretty much everything else. And by banning everything else, I mean everything else. GoGuardian was even banning Google searches, which is overblocking to the power of 5,000. But the tyranny and spying of GoGuardian is a topic which we'll save for another day. Back to CMT. Yes, teachers caught on to the fact that Cool Math Games was a lot more games than it was math. But, and I hate to say this, what if teachers actually had a point when it came to banning Cool Math Games? What if there were deeper, darker problems with Cool Math Games? Serious issues that went way beyond the site not being educational. Downfall reason 2. Ads, ads, ads. If you've been playing Cool Math Games for years or even decades, you'll know that ads have always been a part of the site. Hit subscribe for more deep dives into old websites. Thank you. Back to the video. I distinctly remember the ads being annoying, but at least they weren't the interrupt your gameplay style. At least not yet. Change can be good, but not the way Cool Math Games changed. First, sometime in the last few years, the site underwent a modern redesign, presumably to keep up with the times. We got a flashy new interface that technically works on modern browsers and on mobile devices, but in the process, it lost the simple, quirky charm we grew up with. As this fan said, Cool Math used to have such a cool website, but they ruined it with this modernized version. I'm sure many people have said this, but just went on there after a few years, and sucks to see it like this. It's the digital equivalent of walking into your childhood arcade, only to find it remodeled as a corporate cafe. Sure, everything is new and shiny, but you can't help shake the feeling that something is missing. Second, the redesign brought on an onslaught of advertisements that all but choked the fun out of the site. And it's not like you could just use adblock, because adblock itself has been blocked. As one user put it, my problem is the ads. Honestly, making my game literally lag out because of refreshing ads on all sides of the screen. Just because I won't pay you to make them go away, that's no way to run a site. When you have 15 rotating ads on a page, yes, someone counted, Even a simple puzzle game can make it grind to a halt. Look, I understand that CoolMathGames, it needs to make money somehow. But when the ads themselves are making the games unplayable, then Houston, we have a problem. After all, we went to CoolMath to play Block the Pig, not to wage war against lag caused by ad scripts. The site then doubled down on the ad model, bringing in the now infamous watch an ad to enable full screen. Remember when you could just hit full screen and immerse yourself? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Nowadays it's all gated behind an advertisement. One Reddit comment captures the outrage. Let's not even get started with watch ad for full screen. Once I saw that, I knew it was the end of CoolMath for me. And those ads you were forced to watch, some of them were pretty damn inappropriate. Schools really did have a point when they banned this website, huh? Seriously though, adverts like this, they break trust. Because parents and teachers, they're not clicking a maths game expecting to have to police explicit or addictive content. It makes the whole website feel, well, dodgy. Even if, admittedly, the ads are coming in from a third-party network, rather than being chosen on purpose. To be fair, these ads are from a few years ago, and the website now states that inappropriate advertisement categories are strictly off-limits at CoolMathGames. Hopefully these vile ads on a children's site are a thing of the past. But even if they fixed every ad tomorrow, even if they restored the old game perfectly, would we even care? Because maybe we need to acknowledge an uncomfortable truth. Downfall reason 3. We got old. I still remember the panic that CoolMathGames was going to be lost forever. You see, when Adobe Flash was switched off at the end of 2020, CoolMathGames suddenly faced losing a big chunk of its catalogue. Lots of the older classics were Flash only, and there was a bit of a panic online. But credit where credit is due. CoolMath steadily added new browser-friendly games, and leaned on workarounds like emulation and re-releases. Ultimately, the impact wasn't as big as we first feared. But that word fear is important. We did fear over CoolMathGames going away. If it went away now in 2026, I don't think anyone would care that much, and that's quite sad. Because us, in the original audience, we've grown up. Many of us have moved on to more sophisticated games, or we simply don't have the free time like we used to. CoolMath tried to stay relevant by adding new games and even engaging on social media. Their cheeky Instagram and X posts show that they desperately want to remind us they still exist. But the culture around gaming has shifted so much that CoolMath's quirky charm doesn't translate easily. And for the younger generation, I don't think that CoolMathGames means as much as it did to us. See, the new generation of kids has smartphones and a buffet of other distractions. Instead of huddling around a PC to play Cool Math in secret, they're playing Fortnite or Among Us on their phones, or watching TikTok memes. That communal aspect of Flash games at school, it's fading. Can a nostalgic website survive when the context that sustained it has all but disappeared? I don't see hordes of kids discussing high scores or new game discoveries. The playground of CoolMathGames is emptier, quieter. It feels like visiting your old elementary school after graduating. Familiar walls, yes, but the laughter and the footfalls that you remember have been replaced by someone else's. Or worse, by silence. Final reflection. In the end, perhaps the coolest maths CoolMathGames ever taught us was an unintended lesson, how to add up the value of an experience once it's gone. As you and I reflect on what's been lost, the old design we'll never see again, the unfortunate entreat of intrusive and inappropriate advertising, the shared excitement that's fizzled out, we're also appreciating what we had. The downfall of CoolMathGames is bittersweet, but it reminds us that we carry the joy of that era within us. Given that the site is banned in pretty much every school nowadays, CoolMathGames may never hit the same again, but the memories, they always will. And in that sense, CoolMathGames will never truly die. It lives on in us, in our collective cultural memory, as a symbol of a simpler, happier time, when all it took to feel free was an algebra worksheet on one browser tab and a sneaky game of Snake on the other. Feel free to share your recollections and memories about CoolMathGames in that comment section below. I know it's a website that means a lot to many, many people. I've been your host, Snipe Snap, and I'll see you soon. Snipe, Snap, out.